Woke up today with a lot of hypothesis of what happened with the world's shortest coup in Russia. And there are people who are saying, well, this was all a plan. It's actually Putin trying to see who is loyal and who isn't loyal. And then there's another one saying, oh, well, the person that replaced Prigozhin is already on the offensive and this was a trap for the Ukrainians. And in reality, what I think is happening is that a lot of political analysts like to say that there was this grand conspiracy which they have managed to unveil, and only they understand what actually transpired. And of course, this gives you a lot of clicks and it makes your publication gain prestige. But in reality, I don't think the world is as Machiavellian as people like to think. I do not believe that these type of like grand plans that you get to see in movies actually unfold in reality. Anyone that tried to run a Discord or even a small group of people know just how easy it is for people not to do what they're told and just go their own separate way and do their own thing. So no, it's like the most plausible answer that I think is happening is that Prigozhin was very dissatisfied with the fact that they have to sign contracts with the military, and the tensions between him and the Russian military command were already at an all-time high. So he decides to do this protest by making this video and then marching to Moscow. But he was probably surprised when he saw that the first city just allowed him to walk in without firing a shot. People are cheering, people are happy. He goes to the second city, they also allow him to go in. Like, imagine what that does to a person's ego. So he keeps marching, and he notices that he's gaining popularity. He notices that, as you can see here, people are cheering for them, and they're viewed as heroes. But the problem is, as he approaches Moscow, which is one of the world's most defended cities right now, it's an actual fortress. He must have realized that there is no way for him to take it. He didn't have the 25,000 men that he initially claimed. I think he had around 9,000. And, you can't take Kiev when you actually get supplies and logistics from your homeland, let alone take a country within your homeland when the supplies are definitely going to run up in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, he realized that there's no way he can take Moscow, even with the public support that he has. Probably also didn't want to start a civil war, and as such, when the president of Belarus offered him a way out and said, hey, you can come to exile in Belarus and you're going to most likely get a huge pay cut, yeah, he probably took it. Now, is Putler, as the political analysts like to call him, going to take advantage of the situation? I mean, there's not much to take advantage of, given the fact that you have shown that you can't control your own mercenaries, and some of the things which Prigozhin was saying that, well, there's no ammunition, like you fired a missile on a... Yeah, that doesn't look good for the cameras, especially when Russia's policy is to distance themselves from these mercenaries in public. I mean, it's literally the reason that they're working with mercenaries. It's so that they can tell to the international community, well, we didn't do this, we didn't know, they're little green men, like, we don't have control of them. It's so that they can downplay the casualties of a conflict, because the media will show, well, look how many soldiers died. Well, yeah, but like, these aren't soldiers, these are mercenaries, so we do not put them in the same pool, right? And now Russia is forced to admit that, well, actually it was almost a civil war, and that these Wagner group, they're actually part of our guys, and right, like, I mean, everyone knew, but it's one thing when everyone knows, and another thing when they have to publicly admit to this. It does matter a lot in the diplomatic community and in the international scene. So yeah, like, there's not much good for Putler to come out of this, but at the second page, he can also now see who is loyal and who isn't. Right, so people will say, well, yeah, but he orchestrated this in order to uproot the disloyals. It's, well, I don't think he orchestrated it, but now that it happened, I mean, what is he going to do? It's like, well, like, I can't purge the disloyals, because then the political analyst will say that I planned for this, that I'm like Zinch. Not to mention it would probably look good for him to act like he actually did plan for this. But I don't think you can set something up like this because of the incident which actually did transpire, and that is that the Wagner group did shoot down a military helicopter, and now it's going to be very difficult to explain that to the families, right? Like, imagine your boy joins the military as an act of patriotism, or he's drafted or whatnot, and then comes home in a casket because your own forces shot at him. And you're like, okay, well, are they going to go to jail? Is anyone going to go to prison? Right? Like, as a parent, you may have these questions, and these are very difficult questions to ask. In fact, I have seen even people from within Russia, like political analysts and people on TV, like saying that, well, obviously justice needs to be happening, and we need to take this seriously, because you can't fire at your own military and not have any consequences. Chances are there would be consequences, to be honest, much to the public's dismay, because Russia does have the interest of keeping these mercenaries fighting right now, so doesn't want to lower their morale. It's a thing of pragmatism, and I do believe that the investigation will continue. Maybe they will have like a couple of scapegoats, but overwhelmingly, I do not think that their leaders of the Wagner Group are going to be punished. I mean, Prigozhin is already in exile, and he has been promised to gain immunity. Take into account that all of this information should be taken with a grain of salt due to the fact that the fog of war still exists. Although, as you can see here, as of this morning of June 26, the criminal case of the organization of an armed rebellion in which Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner, was the main figure, has not been closed. So they will do what we do here in Eastern Europe as well. It's a tradition, like, we will investigate, and maybe after 2 or 3 years we will find out something. But by then, nobody really cares, because the way the news segment works is people only have the attention span of 24 hours. So yeah, they will investigate, I'm sure. Like, there will be a commission that's going to look into it, and maybe after the war, there's going to be, oh, well, these people have been found guilty. Oh, they're already dead, so we can't really punish anyone. That's my opinion, okay? And people can fact check me if I'm right or not. But take into account that there's a lot of political analysts on the internet that like to say they peer through the veil and they have no accountability. Like, they will say, oh, well, this is where the $1 billion from the United States went. It's to bribe the Wagner Group. I'm like, okay, well, money not very well spent then, if that was the case. Because there's no evidence that that happened. If you like what I do, there is a link into the pinned comment under this video, and it will take you to my livestream channel, where I livestream every day, and you can also interact with me. Now, if you want the best buyer's remorse on the internet, you can click on the super thanks, and you will help support the channel. And if you want to be a long-time supporter for some unknown mysterious reason, there is also another link into the pinned comment, which will take you over to my Subscribestar page. For those of you that are more financially sensible and don't want to get buyer's remorse, I will see you all in the comment section. Take care.